Greetings to everyone. So, till now, we have studied in Unit 1 about the structure, function of an ecosystem, then food chain, food webs, and ecological pyramids. Now, coming to just a revision of it, that is, what is an ecological system, components of ecological system, that is abiotic and biotic, and then we have this. Okay. So, what keeps us and other organisms alive? There is one-way flow of high-quality energy from the sun, and then cycling of matter or nutrients through parts of biosphere and gravity. So here we are taking the gravity, that is the laws of thermodynamics. So because energy is associated with the trophic levels, we have to apply this law of thermodynamics. Okay. So energy exists in many forms such as heat, light, chemical energy and electrical energy. So energy is the ability to bring about change or to do the work. So thermodynamics is the study of energy. So the first law of thermodynamics, which was given by Newton, Isaac Newton. So energy can be changed from one form to another, but it cannot be created nor destroyed. So the total amount of energy and matter in the universe remains constant, merely changing from one form to the another. So if you suppose you are taking this as an example, okay, so Earth. So this solar radiation is being absorbed by the Earth. So all the radiations are being absorbed and then it is again getting reflected by the atmosphere. So here you have some radiations, that is greenhouse effect, and then the heat is being radiated by the atmosphere, okay, and by the earth. So energy in is equal to energy out. And coming to the second law of thermodynamics, that is, in all energy changes, if no energy enters or leaves the system, the potential energy of the state will always be less than that of the initial state. So in energy transferred, some energy will dissipate as heat. The flow of energy maintains the order of life. Okay. So, for example, if you take producers have 10,000 calories, primary consumers have only 1,000 calories, and then secondary consumers only 100 calories. That means what? There is some heat that is getting dissipated from one trophic level to the other trophic level. Okay. So here you can see that is 1 calorie, fourth one, third trophic level 10, second 100 and first 1000. So an healthy ecosystem will always have the most energy available in the first trophic level. Then only it is called as healthy ecosystem. Okay. Then, yeah, we have seen this primary productivity, secondary productivity, gross primary production, etc. Now, coming to the energy flow models. So there are two flow models which are given, that is single channel energy flow model and Y-shaped or two channel energy flow model. So we are going to discuss it now. So this is the single energy flow model, that is one side, that is energy flow diagram for a lake or freshwater ecosystem. So you have autotrophs, which gives gross production of one level. Then we have herbivores and then we have carnivores. So solar radiation is being absorbed by the autotrophs. They photosynthesize them and then that is getting eaten by these herbivores. And this total is not, see here, gross production rate is 111, whereas here it is 15. That means most of it is not absorbed by the herbivores. All of that is not taken up by the herbivores. Some undergoes decomposition, some undergoes in respiration, some undergoes which is not at all utilized. Then similarly, it takes place from herbivores to carnivores. We say that carnivores eat the herbivores, but the gross productivity rate here is only 3. That means some energy is getting released for decomposition, then which is respiration, and then some of it is not at all utilized. Similarly, for carnivores, again decomposition not utilized and then respiration. So this is a single channel energy flow model. That is, total incoming solar energy radiation is this much. Then gross production energy rate is this much. So already I explained you in the diagram. Now coming to the Y-shape energy flow models. So what happens in this? So it indicates the two food chains, that is grazing food chain and detritus food chain. So what happens in grazing food chain at the beginning with green plant base going to the herbivores and then to the detritus. So beginning with dead organic matter acted by microbes then passing to detritivores and their consumers. So it can be reverse process also. So that is why it is Y-shaped model. Okay. So dead bodies of small animals that were once a part of grazing food chain become incorporated in the detritus food chain as to the feces of the grazing food animals. So the distinction between the two is the time lag between the direct consumption of living plants and utilization of the dead organic matter. Okay. So you can understand this with the help of this diagram. So sunlight, it absorbs, undergoes photosynthesis. Then you have respiratory machinery of the plants, okay? And then some of that is dissipated as heat, okay? And then this is getting eaten by the herbivores, okay? Then by carnivores and then by tertiary consumers, that is top carnivores. And then you have the decomposers here, okay? So these decomposers can also be having this herbivores, carnivores and top carnivores, okay? And then you have this exports. So maximum of it is liberated as heat. So heat is getting dissipated in between the two, in between the food chain levels, okay? So the two food chains are not isolated from each other. So the Y model is more realistic and practical working model than the single chain model because it conforms to the stratified structure of the ecosystem. It separates the grazing and detritus food chains, and micro consumers and the macro consumers differ greatly in size metabolism reactions. So these models depict the basic pattern of energy flow in an ecosystem. So thus in nature, there operates a multi-channel energy flows, but in these, the channels belong to either of the two basic food chains, that is grazing and detritus. Okay, thank you.